Hey guys, welcome. Cyndi Williams here, the Wanderlust CEO. I have the amazing Karen from Dell Adventures joining me today. Karen, how are you this morning?
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, I want to tell you first, congratulations. I know you're a recent graduate of our Careers on Vacation program, so congratulations on your certification. Are you so
Thank you.
excited?
Oh, I'm so excited. It's refreshing. I will say the one thing I'm excited about is the program. I'm going to jump ahead a little. I love that there's the graduate group. I'm already engaging with them, making new friends. It's a nice camaraderie.
Yeah, we don't just cut off the support. We're friends for life. Once you're in the program, you're in the cool kids group, and it's like a whole culture that we're like developing now. I am here for it. But listen, tell everybody about where your business was before doing Careers on Vacation and where your journey has taken you and where you are now just having graduated.
Sure. So I was thinking about this a little bit as I was working on some marketing and planning out. It is towards the end of 2020. It's been an interesting year, and we're gearing up for 2021. And it's always good to stop and think back and take stock. And candidly, before I finally took the plunge into Careers on Vacation, I had no clear marketing plan. I had very few followers, subscribers, no real growth of a potential client base. In general, it just felt like my business was stagnant, for the lack of a better word. So I came in with some clear goals after really kind of sitting on the idea of joining the program for almost a year. My business just turned 1 year old. And since joining the program, really taking full advantage in diving in and taking the advice from you and the other coaches. I had my best sales month just a few days ago since starting my business. I checked the numbers this morning. I've got my first 5-star review on Google. When you search travel agents in my town, I'm on the front page, number
Yay,
6.
you're on the leaderboard. I love
Yes.
it.
And when I search my zip code, I'm even higher at number 4.
Nice.
So implementing all of the recommendations there have been huge. From an engagement perspective, on Instagram, I chose to go the organic growth route, really working on that hashtag strategy. And I've grown, I'm teetering probably in the 65 to 70 followers, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in 12 weeks time to go from 2, I think that's great.
With no, and with an organic meaning no money spent.
No money.
We
Now,
like
but based on some guidance and coaching, where I did put some money was in my Facebook advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And since my last coaching call, I have grown in this program 552%.
Nice.
552%
of growth. I love it.
I'm a few people shy of 1,000 people on my business page now.
That's amazing.
And that's because I took advice, I took coaching, and I tweaked my advertising. I actually created a plan. I really put some thought into who do I want to be my client? What kind of business do I want my agency to look like? And like I said, I wasn't getting that without the help of really trying to create this business. And I even created a YouTube channel. And
which you know is one of my favorites. Yeah, it's
yes.
Not one strategy. We teach you guys a lot of strategies.
Right. And so I will tell you, much to is chagrin the right word, maybe?
Yep, I think so.
When I look at tracking, I have a little bit of an analytics background from some of my corporate experience. So I love to dig into the numbers. And by far, anytime I have video, any authentic engagement, it blows the numbers off the charts. So if there's one huge takeaway, bite the bullet, get comfortable, and video is where it's at. Absolutely. Yeah. Which is what the whole team teaches and preaches. And by golly, if it's not accurate.
We don't make this stuff up. We actually test it in our own travel agency. Can you imagine that? Testing things to make sure they work before you talk to other people about doing it in their businesses. Though, Karen, those are huge wins and celebrations. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. I love, because, you know, one of the things we focus on is optimizing the different platforms, and the difference, I think, in our program is it really is a learn as you earn program. Like for that first year, if you don't know how to operate in an online space, which who does? Like, who wakes up or who's born just knowing that knowledge? It is 25 years of me going through this evolution, learning, figuring out what doesn't work, what doesn't work, what doesn't work. Oh, this one worked though. What doesn't work, what doesn't work, what doesn't work.
Yeah.
So you guys don't have to waste your time for years and go through that painful process that we did before we got everything into a well-oiled machine. So I love that in less than 12 weeks, you have everything optimized. You have over 500% growth. You've had your best sales month ever. You're optimized on Google. You're showing up on the leaderboard. So your SEO, tying that into your website and all the strategies. And I always say the magic is behind the curtain, guys. Like once you capture that email or once you get that audience built, then we teach you what to do from a marketing perspective. And you just said you were working on your marketing plan. So can I assume that your marketing is planned out for the next few months?
Yeah, definitely the advice of really thinking ahead at least a quarter at a time, really putting pen to paper and thinking about the key areas that I focus on my different niches around resorts, around the different islands. By far, that's been one of the best things, because I think it may have been you, one of the coaches said, get things taken care of on the business so you can now be in your business.
Right.
And
exactly.
it's been
automation processes and systems.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. I love it. I love it. So tell me a little bit, obviously, we didn't even mention because if you're watching this video 2 years from now, which happens because it does, Karen did this in the middle of the pandemic, y'all. So Can we talk about that for a second? Like everyone's like, oh, travel shut down. No, it's not. It's not. I promise you. And now this is being filmed in the fall. So uptick is happening. The beauty of this year, I feel like, is everybody realizes how important travel agents were. We were already thriving pre-pandemic, but now there's this huge return. So if you know how to position yourself and optimize and, video strategy, do those things that will attract you those right clients, that's why it's happening in the midst of it right now. And it's only going to be bigger and better afterwards. So just little plug for Karen's extra credit work that she gets because she accomplished all of that in the craziest time maybe ever in the travel industry. Talk to me a little bit about mindset. That's a cornerstone of our program to teach you how to think like a CEO, how to map your goals, how to really get clarity and keep you on track when you have your days that are tough and overwhelming and challenging. What did the mindset work do for you, either in the program or in your life as you went through?
So in general, I like to approach everything with a positive attitude, a servant heart attitude, but the mindset work with the team, with Brandon, and really honing in on that helps me be more focused. Something you just said, I think, is really important. I have experience in sales. I have experience in analytics. I've done a little bit of marketing. This is my first time to be a legit CEO. I claim I am an entrepreneur. I claim I am a CEO, and that really does take a different mindset. So I've really honed in on not limiting myself even. So instead of just fumbling through what I like to call the tire kickers that are window shopping, I am claiming 3+ quality leads today that are going to respond and are serious buyers, that are luxury buyers. My sales goals are always X number of dollars plus. And then, as you mentioned the pandemic, even though there are hard days, if I don't hit those 3 people, if I got one person to talk to me today, it was a good day. So when still made a sale. Yep. So when I wrap up my week and you take stock of, okay, what worked, what didn't work, because the start, stop, continue concept works really well with, like you said, the art of advertising is what I'm doing to reach clients working. And how can I set myself up for success next week? Staying positive in the mindset, recognizing what I have accomplished, I think goes really far and has been very helpful for me to maybe be a little more specific in my affirmations and what I'm claiming for blessings and success in my business.
Yeah, I love what you said, because I think it's so common, especially for women, is we don't give ourselves credit for what we did last week. And it's not all about work either. Like getting your mindset right is also going, my kid was sick and I took care of them and I balanced that and the other two kids' schedules and I ran a business and I got dinner on the table somehow and I didn't go crazy and I didn't, I remember to feed the dog or like you have to start in that place where like, I don't know if mompreneur is the right word. Like we had the video crew out here last week filming some promos and I'm like up here and we have this expensive camera crew here. And I was like, I would get right into I would start saying my thing and it's like, everything has to be right. The sound, the lighting and whatever. What do I hear? Like someone downstairs on the ice maker.
Never fails
right now.
Yeah.
And I in that moment I was like, this is crazy. Like I was like, the kids don't care that I have a camera crew up here. Like I'm a mom. You have to balance a lot, right? Yeah. So walking into each week going, somehow I navigated all of these things going on and my life and all of this. So it's so important, you guys. And that's why mindset will always be a part of our program, because I learned, I've been training travel agents for over 20 years. Like I started with RCI Travel and I would train class after class after class. What I learned from that experience of training hundreds of people a year was the most successful people were the ones that could get rid of the mindset things. And if you worked with people, as one-on-one and helped them take away those limiting beliefs, then all of a sudden they could see that amazing success. That's why we could put out so many top performing classes, because we really focused on that piece and just working. So that will always be part of our program. Even if you think you don't need it, Karen was very open to it and you're very coachable. But my favorite is when people come in and they go, I don't need all that. Just give me the roadmap. Tell me the optimization. Tell me the data. We're going to do all of that for you. But what does it hurt to employ these tactics? And it's always those people that go, you know what I didn't expect?
Right.
Because it's so important, right?
Well, and I'll tell you, mindset was like an added bonus in that I came in truly like, I know I need help in marketing. I know I need to increase my email list, I came in with very specific goals. Like say I came in with like these 2 goals, but I walked away with a breadth of information to make it a better, more well-rounded approach to my business.
Yep. And all the better for it, and hence all of your success. So Karen, walk me through when you originally found us. Was it hard for you to jump all in? Were there any hurdles? I know you mentioned you were kind of going at it by yourself for a year. What was the process like from when you found us to when you decided to work with us for you personally?
Well, I'm sure you've heard this a time or two, but I found you right about the time I actually started my agency. So about a year ago, I started doing my homework of, do I want to host? Do I not? What are all my options? Of course, I found all of your training videos that are focused toward travel agents. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's nice. I listened to your masterclass and I put it away. And then, I start plugging along and I'm like, okay, I'm going to hit my first wave season that most travel agents are aware of in the cruise world pre-pandemic. And it still wasn't I didn't have all the pieces of the puzzle, right? So I'm going about it thinking one way would work. And I'm like, why am I not as successful as I think I should be? Limiting myself. Of course, then the world came to a screeching halt and it was, okay, I have an opportunity to truly take some stock and figure out, how am I going to pivot out of this? Am I willing to fight and to strive for this? And as I'm trying to stay motivated and seek like-minded people in this industry, I'm like, oh, there's that Cyndi lady. I'm going to pull her videos up again. And you had just refreshed your masterclass, given the environment and how it was changing. And once I got out of my own way and said, okay, I'm willing to seek guidance from someone that's done this, that has a proven track record, and I'm willing to invest in myself and my business, despite it being a pandemic, despite no real new sales coming in. Investing that little bit in the program has already proven itself, given the successes that I've had.
Absolutely. Yeah. And here's the other thing too, during the pandemic, I think people we're on like the cusp of it changing now, but people have a little bit more time. So it was that, but it's one of those things where I don't think you can ever, like, ready is an illusion. You're never it's either going to be, oh, I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have whatever. I don't, I know I don't know if this was the case with you, but a lot of people come to us and go, I just got frustrated with trying to shoestring and trying to figure out what was she doing? What's he doing? What, like you can see all these people having success and you're like maybe the common denominator is they have those careers on vacation certifications on their stuff. But seriously though, like having proven systems, because the go it alone approach, I think at the beginning is alluring because like it's cheap. So you're like, oh, let me try this out, But is it harder to just do it right from the beginning or like go back and fix it all? So it doesn't matter whatever state you're in. We can do either and we're happy to do either. But if you're, out there and thinking, do I wait? Do I try it out? Like Karen, would you if you had it to do over again, would you start with us from the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, even as I was, I'm a planner, if you can't tell, and so that's why I was like, oh my gosh, this is how I do an actual marketing plan in the travel world. As I was thinking, the one thing I wrote down, if there's one thing I could tell myself 12 months ago is, Dodo, don't wait. Yeah. Think about how much further my business would be if I had jumped into the program 12 months ago instead of 12 weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hope you guys are hearing that. Don't wait the year, but
don't pull a Karen. Don't be a Karen in 2020. Ha ha. And don't wait. Take advantage of it. It's worth the time. It's worth the investment. And I have nothing but positive experiences and things to say.
Yeah, I love it. And listen, if you tried it on your own, we're glad to work with you too. It's a tiny bit harder to fix, but we can do it. And like I said, people don't just know how to operate in an online space. People aren't sharing that information. And there's a lot of, don't get your advice from forums, because there's a lot of that going on where I tried this and I did this and I did that. But it's like, find, and even if it's not me and you're watching this video, find someone that you resonate with that's doing exactly what you want to do. Do they have a travel agency? Are they doing it in a big way? Are they, so when you're kind of looking for that piece to plug in, know that when you're growing a business of any kind, travel is no different. It's always best to find, that information and that person that can deliver it in a way that it works for you, which Karen obviously did. So Karen, what would you tell people who are, last question, sitting on the fence and they're like, they know they need us. Maybe they are like you and they're like, it's a pandemic. Am I crazy to invest in myself? Or it's still, I don't know how this thing's going to turn out, which we just got vaccine news today. So that's super exciting.
Huge.
Yeah. So, but what would you say to that person who's on the fence and they're like, oh, I've been watching this Cyndi lady. She's all over YouTube or social or whatever. I've heard, all this stuff. But what would you say to that person who knows they need us, but they're just kind of in that state of hesitation, I guess?
So, I'll speak as if I'm talking to myself, because I had to look in the mirror and take stock. Do I want to be successful? Do I want to be one of the agencies that stands the test of time past a pandemic and knows how to actually grow my market? Am I worth the investment? Is my business worth the investment? And I said it earlier, I'll say it again. I wish I would have done it 12 months ago instead of 12 weeks ago. So if you're on the fence, take the plunge. What have you got to lose? Take a chance.
I love it. And you're not really saying yes to me, what you just said, you're saying yes to yourself, right?
Absolutely. No, I had to take my own internal pulse check and be like, okay, am I willing to invest in myself? I need to give myself a chance to succeed. And for me personally, I knew I wasn't going to get my business where it needed to go on my own. So sometimes it just takes, humbling yourself and saying, I could really use the help, and I am worth the investment. My business is worth it.
Absolutely. And everybody that has ever done something in a big way, they invest in something. You either invest your time, your money, your resources, your whatever. It's even I did. You guys know, I spend close to $100,000 a year in advertising testing, so I can figure out, still stay on the edge of the curve of like what's working, what's not. Only the best things end up in our program. So you don't have to waste that time and that money. I have teams of experts doing that stuff for the travel industry. And that's why I feel like our results are what they are, because you guys are getting the best without wasting all that stuff. So I love that. Guys, if you're sitting out there like Karen and you're like, I've been thinking about this, or I have no idea how to get into the travel industry, but who are these people talking? This sounds amazing. Whatever camp you're in, Careers on Vacation has 2 learning tracks. If you are aspiring and brand new, you go on 1 learning track. If you're experienced, like Karen knew how to book travel, she just needed to know how to plug into that online space, optimize, how to grow, how to do marketing, how to convert sales faster and quicker. Those are the things that you'll learn in both programs. But if you're experienced, you'll go on one path. And if you're brand new, you'll go on another. But either way, all you guys have to do is go to careersonvacation.com/ready now, book a discovery call, and we'll be glad to talk to you about your personal goals, which might be different than Karen's or anybody else out there in the world. If your goals align with what we know we can teach you how to do successfully, then we will talk about applying for the program. That's why we have such high satisfaction, because if we can't help you, we're going to lead you in a direction where you can get help that's for you. If it's something we can help you with, then we'll talk to you about applying. And either way, you're going to get clarity on what your next step should be. Karen, was the discovery process weird for you anyway?
It initially felt a little odd, but the team was great. They were very patient with me. As you might gather, I came with a lot of questions, a lot of concerns. They were extremely patient with my follow-up questions and follow through. And it came down to ultimately, the team was like, hey, we think you're a great fit, just like what you were talking about. And then it was up to me to say, okay, I'm worth it and I'm ready. And I appreciate that you and all the other coaches met me where I was at. You worked with me from where I was starting at and made all this work. I chose when I built my marketing plan. I chose when I built my financial budget, where and how I was to invest. There's no pressure and you must do these 3 things. It really is a team effort to make sure we are all successful in the long run.
Yeah. And I mean, from being a consultant trainer for as long as I have, I know like working with each person is in a different space. Like you're numbers focused, number oriented, you're pragmatic in your approach. So getting those things answered before you dive in, kudos to you. I think no matter what program you guys take, you should vet it. You can go to our website and get a free download that will help you vet any program and show you what ours does compared to others, by the way. But secondly, just kind of that whole piece of meeting you where you're at, right? Every client's different. Everybody has different needs. That's why we assign you your own personal coach. And it's like you said, it's a very handheld process through, because that's how you're going to get the best results if someone understands what you're trying to get out of it. And then we help you get that out of it.
Totally.
So Karen, I'm so happy for you. I think this is just the beginning of so much growth for you now that you know that you've had all these successes already, but now you know how to replicate that every single month in your business. There is no limit to what you can do in your new CEO role for your new agency. I'm so excited. And if I remember correctly, you transitioned and are now doing travel full time?
Yes.
Yes, you guys.
Yeah. Even
amazing.
in a pandemic. Yes, I am now full-time entrepreneur and CEO.
That's amazing. So kudos to you, lady. You're not going far. You're just going over the grad group. You know, we're friends for life once you're in the program. So thank you for sharing your amazing story today. I'm sure it's going to inspire so many people that are out there. So we'll talk soon. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks for joining us today. Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here. If you like that last video, make sure you check out my other content to help you grow and scale your very own travel business. And also, I invite you to travel around the world with me and find out what I'm doing in my portable, profitable, award-winning travel business. Check out the videos.